Loss to the Mariners. Can they bounce back today? With both teams wearing vintage uniforms on Turn Back the Clock Day in Seattle, here's Justin Kutcher.
All right, thanks so much, Matt. Here in the Emerald City, it is a beautiful day for baseball, and it is Turn Back the Clock Day, where the fans have come out for all the festivities, and they get a chance to check out some sweet uniforms. Seriously, how awesome are these? The Mariners as the Turks, the Cubs wearing uniforms from the early 1900s. All the festivities and more, and what do you know, but the grounds crew actually resembles caddies from Augusta National. It's the Cubs-Mariners on Baseball Night in America. And hello, everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros. And Eric, it is Turn Back the Clock, but both these teams are trying to turn the clock forwards and looking towards the future. However, for the Mariners, they've got a guy who's actually dialing the clock back.
Well, he really is, and you're talking about Raul Ibanez. He hit his first home run for the Seattle Mariners in 1997. And this year, he's leading the team in RBIs and leads the team in home runs with 18. And in fact, in your age 41 season, Ted Williams has the record for 29 home runs. Raul Ibanez is closely chasing that down. An
incredible year for Ibanez. As far as these Cubs are concerned, well, they've got some guys to build around for the future. One guy in particular, an ace, is Jeff Samardzija.
Yeah, he's really the anchor of this staff, and he's somebody that you can build upon. In his last 3 starts, he's thrown extremely well. He's one of those guys, he has less hits allowed than innings pitched and more strikeouts. A power guy that the Cubs can build around for the future.
It may be the time to turn back the clock here in Seattle today, but both these teams are looking towards the future. Check out the ages. Starlin Castro, 23. Nick Franklin, 22. Anthony Rizzo at 23. Young stars all around. Zunino, the game-winning hit last night. It's Baseball Night in America, and it's coming up next. To Seattle, this was just moments ago as President William Howard Taft got driven out here on Turn Back the Clock Day. He's going to throw out the ceremonial first pitch, and I tell you what, Eric, he looks pretty good for his age.
Yeah, you know, reminds me a lot of first baseman I played against, John Kruk. Remember him?
I do.
Left-handed hitter. There you go.
Time now for the Starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you got to live Moss for the Chicago Cubs. Luis Valbuena will lead things off and play third. Starlin Castro at short, bat second. Nate Shearholtz in right field will bat third. The DH is Alfonso Soriano. Anthony Rizzo will bat fifth and play first. Ryan Sweeney in center will bat sixth. Ryan Bogusevic will bat seventh and play left. Darwin Barney at second bats eighth. And Wellington Castillo will catch and bat ninth. And they will face the right-hander Aaron Harang, who on the season 3-7 with a 5.29 ERA.
Yeah, the big man, he found a job after being with the Dodgers. He was released in spring training because they had too much pitching. And he's really been hit or miss since he's been with the Mariners. He's thrown 2 shutouts, but there have been a number of starts where he hasn't even got into the 5th.
As a matter of fact, only 2 of his 12 starts have gone more than 6 innings. Those 2 were his complete game shutouts. A beautiful day for baseball. The defense behind Harang in the outfield from left to right. Raul Ibanez, Dustin Ackley, and Endy Chavez around the horn in the infield. Justin Smoke at first. Brad Miller, the rookie, is now playing at second. Brendan Ryan at short. Kyle Seager at third. And Mike Zeno is behind the plate. The opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser from May to July. Buying Budweiser benefits military families. We're all set here. I tell you what, I love looking out and seeing these uniforms. The Chicago Cubs and Luis Valbuena leading things off, wearing uniforms from the early 1900s. The Mariners wearing uniforms when they were the Seattle Turks. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1. Valbuena on the season, 242, 6 home runs and 23 RBIs. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you talk about these uniforms. The one marked difference, though, is turn back the clock guys were wearing wool uniforms back in the day. That'd be a lot more uncomfortable right now.
The 0-2 from Harang. That one is low and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mariners back in 1909. The Seattle Turks. They were the Class B Northwestern League, and they won the league pennant that year. I'm sure you knew all about that.
I do now. Thank you, Justin.
The Cubs in 1909, coming off that World Series championship in 1908. All Cub fans know about that one. They were second in 09 to the Pirates, and 4 players in the Hall of Fame from that ball club. Another 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes here from Harang. The 2-2 from Harang. In the air, center field. Dustin Ackley coming in. He'll make the catch for the first out.
Dustin Ackley getting that start out in center field. He was sent down to Tacoma, spent a lot of time learning to play the outfield, refamiliarizing himself with that position. And Eric Wedge telling us that he's going to get a bulk of the time.
This is a chance right now for this Seattle Mariners team to kind of find out who they are, who these young kids really are. They called up Brad Miller, made his major league debut last night at shortstop, playing second today. Starlin Castro takes the first pitch, fastball for a strike. There is Brad Miller moving over to second with Ryan at short. And that is all because Nick Franklin woke up with a stiff neck today. In the air, left center field. Ackley going back, still going back at the warning track, at the wall, gone. Starlin Castro with his 4th home run of the year, and that is somebody who the Cubs need to get going. This ballpark went under a minor renovation in the offseason. The fences were brought in, especially in that area right there. Last year, that would have been an out. This year, it's a home run for Starlin Castro. And now the shift is on with Nate Shearholtz at the plate. And the first pitch is high and outside for ball 1.
You see with Rizzo up at the plate, you see that shift.
right side of the infield, employing 3 infielders.
Big swing, 1 ball and 1 strike. Shearholtz 284, 11 home runs and 33 RBIs. In a platoon situation out there in right field. Splits time with Scott Hairston, and the 2 of those guys have combined to put up some big numbers for right field.
Well, Shearholtz for me is a guy that I think a lot of clubs, especially teams that are in contention, are going to come calling for. Very athletic, as you mentioned, has had a nice platoon situation.
2-1, popped up, left side of the infield, now on the outfield grass is Seager. And he's there to make the catch, 2 away. So we talked about the changes that happened here at Safeco Field. Well, this is the old dimensions of this ballpark. It was very pitcher friendly. Look out there in left center, 390 feet. Now, with the new dimensions, 378, center field got moved in, right center field got moved in. And Starlin Castro took advantage of that new left center field porch. Alfonso Soriano, first pitch swinging, fouls one off Mike Zunino, 0-1.
Yeah, and you see that scoreboard out there. It is further back now. It used to be on top of the left field wall. It was about a 16-foot high wall you had to go over. Now that thing is well back. Just talking about an 8-foot wall you have to clear.
Soriano to straightaway center field. Ackley this time has some room in front of the warning track to make the catch for the final out. But Starlin Castro puts the Cubs on the board with a home run. The Mariners are coming up. Mariners, here is tonight's starting lineups for the Mariners, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Andy Chavez leads things off. Brad Miller bats second. Kyle Seager in the 3-hole. The DH is Kendry Morales. Raul Ibanez will bat 5th. Justin Smoke will bat 6th. The bottom third of the order, Mike Zunino, Dustin Ackley, and Brendan Ryan to face the right-hander Jeff Samardzija. 5-7 with a 3.39 ERA, a strikeout machine, 115 strikeouts, and 106 in a third innings pitched.
And Dale Swain telling us prior to the game, he's good when he's keeping the ball down and it's darting low in that zone.
And the first pitch fastball is in there at the knees at 93. Chavez on the season, 268, 2 home runs, and 10 RBIs. Andy Chavez, a versatile outfielder for this Mariners team. Can play anywhere out there as he takes the pitch inside, 1-1.
Yeah, this is where the Mariners have really struggled this year, and that's in the leadoff spot. And for those numbers that you're giving about Chavez, the thing about it, 278 on base percentage is not something you want from that leadoff spot. In fact, the Mariners collectively, those that employed that spot, under 300 at the top of the lineup.
Yeah, when your batting average is 268 and your on base percentage is 278, that's not what you're looking for. Down low, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike here to Chavez, leading off the bottom half of the first inning.
And remember, in Samardzij's last start, he threw against the Houston Astros. Did not walk a batter. Already 3-1 here to the first hitter.
The 3-1 from Samardzij. Missing high and outside for ball 4. So a 5-pitch walk issued to Chavez to open up the ball game. Manager for the Chicago Cubs wearing the old school uniform here tonight is Dale Swain. Looks good on him.
Yeah, it really does. It looks like he could just fit into that time period.
Brad Miller will step to the plate. The rookie made his major league debut last night. Picked up an RBI as he takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. This is the shortstop of the future for the Seattle Mariners. One is bounce foul first base side, no balls and 2 strikes. There's a few things to know about this rookie, Brad Miller. Grew up in Orlando, Florida. He has a dog named Kanye, and look who his favorite player is. That works out well when you're here in Seattle.
It really does.
The 0-2 to Miller. High and outside of the fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, talking to some of the coaching staff, they're excited about Miller just because he's a baseball player. Hard-nosed, gritty guy. Goes out and plays the game the right way. Going to give you a battle every at-bat.
1-2 is fouled away. Speaking with Eric Wedge before the game, you know, these young guys, he mentioned a couple of those guys who are just baseball players. You got this kid right here, Brad Miller. You've got the guy on deck and Kyle Seager. Guys that you want to be able to build this team around. And he even said this is the second wave of players of trying to rebuild this team. Last night in his major league debut, Brad Miller up the middle. Check out this play.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about his athletic ability. He can do a lot of things. I think in the minor leagues, the one concern is sometimes the routine play.
Check on the runner at first base. Chavez gets back. He's 0 for 2 on the year in stolen bases. But you think about Brad Miller played his college ball at Clemson. You've got Seager from North Carolina. You've got Ackley from North Carolina. Looks like Seattle's going to the ACC for all their guys. A chopper to second base. Barney tries to tag. Chavez does to first, not in time, but they'll get the force out. Good play by Darwin Barney. And Miller reached on the fielder's choice.
See Miller hustling down, watching the entire way, beats it easily.
Darwin Barney, the Gold Glove winner last year at second base in the National League, beat out Brandon Phillips. Eric Wedge, in his 3rd season as the Mariners manager, won the AL Manager of the Year back in 07 with the Indians. And Kyle Seager now steps to the plate. And Seager takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. On the year, Seager, good numbers, 273, 10 home runs, 34 RBIs. He also has 22 doubles. High and outside with the fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, so we heard from Dale Swain before the game that the key for Samardzij is getting that pitch down, that fastball down. He hasn't gotten the fastball way down in this inning. What are you seeing?
Not yet. I mean, he's opening up with his front side a little bit, but again, sometimes it takes a pitcher an inning or two to get acclimated to the surroundings, to the mound, to get into a rhythm, and he's fighting himself early on.
1-1 is outside with a fastball. And now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So if you're a team like the Mariners, your offense has not been good. You've got a guy in Samardzija. You see what he's done on the road this year. His ERA on the road is 2.73. At home, 4.11. If he doesn't have it, do you have to strike here in this inning, take advantage of it?
Well, I think you got to be patient. You got to let Samardzija dig his own hole, make him throw strikes. Now, the bottom line for either one of these ball clubs, get into the bullpen. Right now, you're making him work. Throwing a lot of pitches so far.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The count here to Seager with Andy Chavez on, with Brad Miller on at first base, reaching on the fielder's choice. Miller did steal a base last night. 2-2, foul tipped into Wellington Castillo's mitt. The first strikeout of the game for Samardzija. The umpires tonight: Mark Webner behind the plate, Laz Diaz at first base, Tim Timmons at second, and the crew chief Mike Winters at third. 2 away for Kendrys Morales. Morales, 275, 9 home runs, 42 RBIs. Solid numbers for Morales. First pitch fastball, check swing. The appeal to third, and Winters says he did not go. It's amazing what injuries can do as far as player movement. You think about Morales, he has the injury after celebrating the walk-off home run. And then what do you know but the Angels go out and sign Albert Pujols, making him expendable. So he comes here to Seattle. You think about Aaron Boone getting into the basketball injury with his ACL, and the Yankees go out and get Alex Rodriguez. Prince Fielder becomes a Tiger because Victor Martinez goes out with an injury.
And I think when you look at Morales, he's done his job here. He's come to be a support guy, just like Ibanez. Unfortunately, so far early on, they've had to become the main cogs in this offense.
1 ball, 1 strike. The count here to Morales. The runner takes off from first, throw down by Castillo, and that gets by the shortstop Castro in the center. Good job backing up by Barney. Let's see what they're going to rule this, because that looked like the throw beat him, but it will be a stolen base.
Miller not wasting any time. That's 2 stolen bases in 2 games. Again, showing his versatility, his athleticism. Sliding head first to the outside part of the bag.
Now Morales chases the splitter in the dirt, and that will do it. So Samardzija gets out of the inning with back-to-back strikeouts. We're through 1. It's 1-0 Chicago. Today's telecast presented by Ace Hardware is sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. And by Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. Top of the second, 1-0. Cubs lead the Mariners here on a beautiful day for a ball game in Seattle. It'll be Anthony Rizzo, Ryan Sweeney, and Brian Bogusevic against Aaron Harang. A shift is on for Rizzo. And the first pitch fastball is up and in for ball one. Anthony Rizzo, the young first baseman, 23 years old, batting .253 on the year with 12 home runs and 46 RBIs. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-1.
Well, and at the top of the show, we talk about Jeff Samardzija being the piece that the Cubs are going to build around as far as the pitcher. This is the position player. Anthony Rizzo, first baseman they feel can hit for power and average.
Jammed, line shot to second. Brad Miller's right there, one away. How about the 4 keys to the game?
Well, you'll never believe this, Justin, but I did say the Mariners have to stay away from the long ball about an hour before the game. We didn't just put that up. They have to avoid the home run. That's how the Cubs score. Cubs, they just have to play some defense. Nobody in the National League has more errors than the Chicago Cubs.
Ryan Sweeney takes the first pitch for a ball. Sweeney's got some good numbers, .297, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs. And the fastball on the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. So am I really supposed to believe you that you just put that up an hour ago?
Justin, you saw it. You were here. You don't have to question me.
1-1 check swing. He went, says third base umpire Mike Winters. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It is true, folks. It is true. Eric Karros put it on, I'm going to say around 3:10, saying here are the keys to the game. 1-2 off the end of the bat to center field. There's Ackley moving over to his right to make the catch. 2 away.
Ackley getting a workout already. 3 putouts in center field. Had to chase one to the wall. It just got into the center field seats. But both of these teams, we go back to the home run, both of these teams score a very high percentage of their runs based on the home run. Not very good, either one of them, in hitting with runners in scoring position. They rely on hitting it out of the park.
Brian Bogusevic. He takes the first pitch fastball on the outside corner for a strike. I wonder if that's going to change for this Seattle Mariners team with the young guys they have, the speed, the athleticism. If all of a sudden you're going to see more hit and run, bunting, small ball for the Seattle team.
Well, it's not necessarily small ball, but you have to start hitting the balls in the gap. I mean, Kyle Seager is perfect for this ballpark. Hit a lot of doubles.
Ground ball to first. Smoke. He's there. Will take it himself. And a quick 1-2-3 inning worked by Aaron Harang. Raul Ibanez, the ageless wonder, will lead off in the bottom half of the second. telecast presented by Ace Hardware, sponsored by Budweiser. America's beer supports America's heroes. It is a spectacular day here in Seattle. I truly believe that this may be the most photogenic city in the country.
It is beautiful, and when you've got weather like it is today, great to be outdoors.
Raul Ibanez will lead things off here against Jeff Samardzija. And Ibanez has had himself quite a June. The first pitch fastball is in there for a strike. Ibanez, his numbers on the season: 243, 18 home runs, 44 RBIs. He has 9 home runs this month. He was tied with Chris Davis and Adam Dunn for the American League lead in home runs, as that one is up and in. But Chris Davis has hit a 3-run home run already in the game against the Yankees.
You see, start him outside, and then Samardzija comes up and in. Not trying to hit him, but just keeping him honest.
1-1 now goes outside and misses. 2 balls and a strike.
That's a great pitch right there. Going back outside. And now Samardzija can go in or he can go out. He's opened up both sides of the plate.
2-1 pulled slowly to first base. Rizzo will flip to Samardzija for the first out. And we've got ourselves our first game break. Here's Matt Veskers. Game break. Here's Matt Veskers. Game break. Here's Matt Veskers.
About a moment ago, bottom of the first, Chris Davis has already struck his major league leading 29th RBIs, 75, 76, and 77, to put him just 4 behind Miguel Cabrera for the major league RBI lead as well. 4-0 Birds early at Camden. Back to UNEK.
What a year that Chris Davis has had. Unbelievable.
No, he's put up wonderful numbers in the Texas minor league system, but for whatever reason never clicked at the big league level in Texas.
Justin Smoke gets into one to right field. Shearhalt's back. Looking up. It's a tie ball game. The 6th home run of the season for Justin Smoke, and this organization has been waiting to see the power out of this guy during games.
Well, he hit it right on cue. We were just showing the home run hit by Davis, a Texas product. Justin Smoke coming over as well from the Texas Rangers. You see, he stays behind the ball, short to the ball, drives this thing. This is a no-doubter. As you mentioned, they're waiting for him to show the power, to bring it to the ball game. He's got it. He can hit it out of any ballpark. Just hasn't been able to do it consistently in games.
Mike Zunino, the rookie catcher, had the game-winning RBI last night. 1-0 and Zunino hits one wall to left field. That's over Bogusevic's head off the wall. Zunino trying for 2, and he will be in there with a double. So the kids are making some noise here for the Mariners in the second.
Zunino just gets a fastball and comes back over the plate. He drives us to left center. I was talking to him prior to the game. He was going through his routine with hitting coach Dave Hansen, hitting balls off a tee. And you see what he did last night. This was a game winner. Single up the middle. He's excited. But again, one of the young guys that the Seattle Mariners hope to build around.
Eric Wedge, when asked about Zunino, said he's a big league catcher. He's a ball player. Another one of those guys, a gamer, catching back-to-back games here, and now on at second base with 1 out in the second, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Dustin Ackley. Ackley's numbers not what he was hoping for, a guy who was a fantastic hitter at the University of North Carolina. By the way, congratulations here, UCLA Bruins, national champs, first time in history.
Duly noted. Went down
and now inside outing one is Ackley. Zunino's being waved around third as Bogusevic has trouble in left field, and it's 2-1 Seattle. It'll be a single E7, no RBI.
See, gets a solid pitch, just drives it into left field. And this is the type of thing that gets the Seattle organization excited. They see these flashes, these at-bats, these bits of success. They just want to see it on a more consistent level.
Now Brendan Ryan steps to the plate, the 9-hole hitter, and he takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Ryan, known for his defense, his offensive numbers, 196, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. A lot of talk about with Brad Miller coming up, this guy is now expendable. Who will make the trade for him to be that late defensive replacement for a pennant race? Trying for a hit and run, to throw down, and caught stealing at second is Dustin Ackley. Two away now.
Well, you see a hit and run right here. Nice throw down to second base right there.
On the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Ryan. 2-1, Seattle leading now in the second after a solo home run by Justin Smoke and an a single by Ackley and an error by Bogusevic. One, 2 is bounced foul. With that home run to Justin Smoke, Jeff Samardzija has allowed a home run in 4 of his last 6 starts. 1-2, popped up, shallow right field. Darwin Barney coming over, long run, in fair territory. It's bobbled. A fan interference, and Ryan will have to hold up at second base.
Well, Laz Diaz hustling down as the umpire making the call, saying it was a fair ball.
And that'll be a double for Brendan Ryan.
Remember, it's not where it bounces, it's where the ball is. You can see clearly a fair ball. Nice call by the hustling Laz Diaz. It's a tough catch right there. Hits right in the heel of the glove.
4 consecutive hits here for the Mariners. Now Andy Chavez, who walked his first time up, will step to the plate. And the fastball misses outside for ball 1. Now people at home or some people watching may be saying, oh, well, now that failed hit and run attempts will come back to haunt you. But you know what? With 1 out, where can that runner go? They still have to hold up to make sure the ball drops. So maybe it'd be second and third as opposed to a run scoring.
But, you know, again, you'd have second and third. You'd have 1 out right now. You have Chavez. So it does change the complexion. But, again, you know, when you start going back, well, if you would have done this or would have done that, you never know how things turn out. I think you've got to be aggressive. Employ the hit and run. This offense has been anemic.
I like it. Fastball on the inside corner. Good pitch there by Samardzija. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Samardzija. Missing down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andy Chavez, 268, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, a chance with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs right now. In the dirt, nice stop by Castillo. And now it's 3-2. You don't see that very often.
But you can tell Samardzija just hasn't had any kind of command. I mean, he's either falling behind in counts or he's missing location and guys are getting a hold of something. This isn't what we've grown accustomed to see.
A 3-2, missing inside. Second time that Chavez has walked in this game. His So first and second, 2 outs. Out to the mound goes Castillo, and Brad Miller will step to the plate.
Brad Miller still looking for his first big league hit. He's got the RBI under his belt, 2 stolen bases, uniform already dirty. You know, I think we're talking to Eric Wedge prior to the game. One of the things that he'd also mentioned is you look at the younger hitters and how they've done with runners in scoring position. You know, that's a learned trait. You have to calm yourself, and they've struggled. You know, it's been the Morales, the Ibanez that have done well.
Miller, looper to left field. Bogusevic is there, and that will end the inning. It is 2-1 Seattle. When we come back, we've got a treat. The King will be joining us. Top of the third, back here in Seattle, 2-1 Mariners leading the Cubs, and Aaron Harang starts off Darwin Barney with a strike. And we're joined by a special guest, the ace of this Mariners rotation, Felix Hernandez. And Felix, thanks so much for joining us. Your nickname is the King. We just saw the Miami Heat win the NBA championship with LeBron James. His nickname is the King. My question is, who really is the King?
That's a good question, man. First of all, thank you for having me here. That's a great question. I don't know, man. It's probably the king of basketball, and I'm here in baseball. So.
Fair enough. Good answer.
Thank you.
Felix, they moved the fences in this year, you know, trying to make it more of a hitter's ballpark. What'd you think about that?
I mean, it's great for our offense, and I got no problem at all. I'm just still got to make good pitches. I mean, to get them out. So, I mean, I got no problem at all.
Well, Felix, your season so far, 8-4, 2.7 ERA. That's good for third in the American League. 123 strikeouts, 116 2/3 innings. Just another typical year for you. But you and your fellow countryman Miguel Cabrera are having phenomenal seasons, careers. What does it mean to you guys to be doing this for your country?
It's an honor, you know. It's trying to put our country on top. And for Miggy, man, Miggy is one of the best hitter I've ever seen. For me, I'm just trying to be consistent, trying to do my job, trying to help my team to win.
Again, we are speaking with Felix Hernandez. Top of the third, 2-1, Seattle leading Chicago. And Darwin Barney, ground ball to shortstop. There's Brendan Ryan for an easy play. And that is now 6 in a row retired by Aaron Harang.
Felix, the team's somewhat struggling right now, a little bit below 500. What does it need to do to get to the top, to compete with Texas, to compete with Oakland?
Well, we play some tough games. I mean, we have a hard luck, so we just got to be consistent again. We just trying to do the little things and trying to score some more runs.
Wellington Castillo will bat here against Aaron Harang. And the first pitch is taken for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Again, we are speaking with Felix Hernandez and talking about this team. We showed the highlight going a break of your perfect game last year. And whenever you pitch, you've got the Kings Court here. What was that like? And how often have you actually watched footage of that game? Because I saw the smile on your face as soon as I mentioned it.
It was special, man. It was a special moment, and I always want to try. I always want to throw one, and finally I did. But it was, I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, in here, especially in Seattle, because I did it in front of our fans.
You did something this offseason that I think a lot of people were a little bit surprised. You look at the Mariners and their stars of years past, whether it's Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Alex Rodriguez, they all came up to this team or whatnot, and then they left via free agency or trades. You signed the extension. Why? What was it about being here in Seattle that you wanted to stay?
And I love this place, man. It's first organization that I signed, and the fans treat me pretty well, and I love it. I love to be here, man. And I live here in Seattle, and my kids love it, my wife loves it, so it's unbelievable.
Well, I know the fans were very happy that you decided to stay, and we're showing the highlights right now of your perfect game last year. And the fingers towards the sky in celebration, a very cool moment for you. And there they are, all your fans going crazy.
Especially the Kings Court, man. Yeah. The Kings Court is unbelievable. Huh? I mean, that section out there is crazy. I mean, they're pretty loud, but I love it.
2 away here in the third, and Luis Valbuena against Aaron Harang takes the first pitch for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Again, we are speaking with Felix Hernandez.
You ever thought about going out there in the Kings Court one time, just putting on one of those yellow shirts during a game that you're not pitching?
They only do it when I'm pitching, so I cannot be there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You know what, though? If for some reason you finish a game in the 7th or 8th, I think you should quickly just run out there and put the T-shirt on.
For real, I want to do that, man, because that section is crazy. So I want to go there and feel what and see what it feels like.
You should do that one of those games where Eric Wedge takes you out. He says you're not going out there in the inning. You go out there, and I'll tell you what, the fans would love that.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try that. Thank you. I'm going to try that.
Well, don't tell the GM that. I'd get me in trouble.
I'm not going to say anything. Don't worry.
I think the post-game interview should all be done from out there with all the fans around you. I think that would be certainly a fun bit.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, man. That'd be awesome, for real.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Pop foul coming back this way out of play. Hey, real quick before we let you go, how do you like the uniforms you're wearing right now? They look pretty good on you.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like it. It looks nice. I like it.
You don't think you look good in all white?
Yes. I must say yes. But I love it. I mean, it's great.
Fly ball to left field. Raul Ibanez there to make the catch. Hey, Felix, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Felix.
No problem.
Samardzija, what are you seeing here for the first couple of innings?
I think he's struggling.
Seattle Mariners leading 2-1 over the Cubs. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros. It'll be Kyle Seager, Kendrys Morales, and Raul Ibanez to face Jeff Samardzija. Seager struck out his first time up. And the first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. A little scoring change for you if you are scoring at home. And I can honestly say I never scored a game at home. However, Dustin Ackley has now been credited with an RBI. They have taken the error away from Brian Bogusevic in that second inning. Have you scored at home?
I can't honestly say I've ever scored at home. Well, let me rephrase that. I score in all the games that I do here with Fox here. Keep a book. Keeps me up to date on everything.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count here to Seager.
Well, this is a guy that really, for Seattle, just a guy that drives the ball in the gaps, will develop the power.
How do you develop the power? I always hear that. How do you do it?
You learn pitches that you can go after and pitches that you can stay off of. You look pitches that you get inside, you can turn on. You quit trying to just plop those things into right center.
The 1-2 from Samardzija. Got him swinging again. Castillo will throw down to first base, and there's strikeout number 3 for Samardzija. We spoke with Dale Swaim, asked him about Jeff Samardzija.
I think he's struggling a little bit with his fastball command. He's not keeping it down. He's not getting ahead. So it's just up, out, a little bit over the plate, middle. Using probably getting a little too fastball happy in some counts. We need to use a little more breaking balls to get back in the counts with.
He gave Starlin Castro a day off. He got hot, hits a home run today. What is it you're seeing this year that's been different in his last couple of years?
Well, I think from when he first came up, he's got a little bit more movement and a lot more going on with the bat and wrapping the bat a little more than he did when he first got to the big league. So just trying to calm all that down.
Hey, by the way, Dale, with that uniform, you may want to freelance as an actor who does throwback movies. It looks good.
Yeah, I bet.
Thanks for joining us.
All right, guys.
2 away. Nice catch there by Ryan Sweeney out there in center field off the bat of Kendrys Morales, and now Raul Ibanez steps in. Ibanez rounded out to first base his first time up. And he takes the first pitch for a strike. I tell you what, Samardzija could use a quick inning here.
Yeah, he's had to labor. There's no question about that. And he's gone up and in again. That's 2 now. Ibanez can't be too thrilled about that. It's the second one up there. Samardzija again just trying to establish the plate.
The 1-1. Fastball, line drive over the leaping Starlin Castro for a 2-out base hit. Time for a game break. Let's check back in with Matt Vasgersian.
Justin, Pedro Alvarez has hit one of the 2 home runs at PNC Park that made it all the way out to the Allegheny River without a bounce, and he almost did it again moments ago. He'll settle with extending his hitting streak to 12 as the Pirates try to extend their longest winning streak in a decade. 1-0 Bucks early. Justin, back to you and Eric.
The Pirates 49-30, best record in baseball. And did you see that crowd at PNC Park?
It's an exciting place right now. They've just been starving for good baseball. You talk about picturesque parks. That's one of the most beautiful places to go watch a game, and now you're getting a great product on the field as well.
1 ball, no strikes to Justin Smoke, who smoked one out to right field his first time up for his 6th home run of the season. Backdoor breaking ball missing outside. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Smoke.
And when you get into the on-base percentage and having productive at-bats, he hasn't been bad. Coming in with about a .360 on-base percentage. It's just the power hasn't been there.
2-0 ground ball, second base. There's Barney, goes to Castro at short for the easy out, and that will do it. No runs on one hit, one man left on. We're through 3 here in Seattle. It's 2-1 Mariners. Presented by Ace Hardware, sponsored by MasterCard, preferred card of Major League Baseball since 1997, and by Chevrolet, find new roads. See what I'm talking about? An incredibly picturesque city. On a sunny day, you can see Mount Rainier. It is just stunning. The sounds, oh, it's awesome. Starlin Castro will face Aaron Harang, who has retired 8 in a row since giving up the home run to Castro in the first. The pitch in the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, we asked Dale Swain about Starlin Castro and what's gone on the last few years, and you see 2011 207 hits, 2013 he's hitting .233 on base percentage, coming into today at .265. You know, and this guy, along with Anthony Rizzo, is really somebody that Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer feel like he can be one of the foundations of this ball club moving forward.
1 ball, 1 strike. The count here to Castro, leading off in the 4th. And the fastball is low and outside, 2-1. So, okay, you asked Dale Swain about the difference. Mechanically, he's off. How do you fix it?
Well, he said there's a lot of movement, and all you do is you go in and you get off a tee, and it's repetition.
Well, he's 2 for 2 in this one as he lines a base hit to right field. So a line drive to right field here in the 4th, and back in the 1st. The timing was all there.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time with that. He drove this ball over the center field wall. You know, I think a big thing also is the fact that Dale Swain gave him a day off the other day. You know, broke his streak of 250 some odd games. Rested him. He came back, went 4 for his next 10. Was hitless last night. Again, sometimes you just need that mental break.
First pitch swinging, broken bat. Shearholtz to third. Seager for 1 to first, not in time. Very close play at first base with that shift. Seager was over almost by shortstop, but they got the lead runner at second.
She makes a quick flip, but again, Shearholtz very athletic and looked like he was out there.
Wow, is that close?
Yeah.
I think he touched the bag with his heel. If he touched it with his toes, he's definitely safe. But there's one away. And Alfonso Soriano steps in. And the fastball is at the knees for a strike. Soriano flew out to center field his first time up. You talk about that day off that Dale Swain gave Starlin Castro. Following that day off, it was really 2 consecutive days off because they had an off day. He followed that up with back-to-back multi-hit games, and now he's got a multi-hit game already in this one.
Yeah, 3 of his last 4 games, he's swinging the bat. And very tough to give a guy that wants to play every day a day to sit on the bench.
In the dirt, good block by Zunino.
And many times that player will fight you, but as a manager, you got to make those types of decisions. Sometimes the player doesn't see it, isn't looking long term, but good for Dale Swain sitting him down. There's Starlin right there.
You, on the other hand, you told Tom Lasorda, hey, I'm good with a day off, right?
No way.
Chasing a high fastball, 1-2.
Was always told someday they're not going to let you go out there. You take that to heart from day one. And most guys will tell you they want to get out there and compete. They want to play.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Soriano. 1 away, top of the 4th. Runner takes off. Zunino can't get a grip on it. It'll be a stolen base for Schierholtz, his 5th of the season.
And nothing Zunino can do right there. Rank bounces that ball, and Zunino just does a nice job of keeping it in front.
Zunino, 3rd overall pick in last year's draft out of the University of Florida. Made his way up to the big leagues quickly. The 2-2 to Soriano. Ground ball, shortstop. Ryan goes to a knee. Tough hop, makes the play. Holding at second is Schierholtz, 2 away. Another game break. Let's check in once again with Matt Vasgersian.
Justin Brandon Phillips has been hot since coming back from paternity leave. Couple of hits last night, and he gives the Reds a 2-0 lead with a dunker here tonight. 2-0 Cincinnati as the Reds have finally ended Texas and their 20 consecutive inning scoreless streak. Back to UNK.
Who would have thought that that team would have difficulty scoring? 2-1 here, top of the 4th. Anthony Rizzo hitting with a runner in scoring position.
And he's really struggled this year coming into today's game. 75 at bats, a 173 average with runners in scoring position. You know, that's where both of these teams really collectively have had their troubles.
At what point in your career did you start to settle down in RBI situations?
Well, you know what? I was streaky. I mean, some years I did really well. Others I didn't do so hot. Just, you know, I think after about the 3rd or 4th year in the big leagues, I felt like I belonged.
Good fastball in the inside corner. Quickly 0-2.
And a guy like Rizzo, look, and he knows he's the guy on that team. And it's just one of those things where, you know, he'll grow into that role, and he won't put so much pressure on himself. He'll realize that this isn't going to be the last at bat he has with the runner in scoring position.
0-2 in the dirt. Nice block by Zunino. That one bounced out in front of home plate.
I mean, I've always said it, and it's very easy to say. It's a lot tougher to do, but when you're up there in that situation, the guy that's got the problem and the guy that's got the issue is that pitcher. And he's the one that's in trouble. And again, as a hitter, you want to get that guy in so bad, you should start pressing yourself.
1-2 inside, brushes Rizzo back a little bit. Let's see if he goes outside now with this one. Harang working the inside corner. We've seen Samardzija go inside, especially against Raul Ibanez. Two rolls one over. Second base, Miller. And that'll do it here in the fourth. No runs on the hit, 1 man left on. We hit the bottom half of the fourth. It's 2-1 Mariners. Bottom half of the fourth inning here in Seattle. 2-1. Mariners lead the Cubs. A new center fielder into the game for the Cubs. It is Julio Bourbon replacing Ryan Sweeney. Not sure why that happened. We'll find that out as Mike Zunino, first pitch swinging off the end of the bat into left field. And there is Bogusevic making the running catch for the first out here in the fourth. Our fan cam, Tom Hutler, the PA announcer here on this turn back the clock day. Right down there on the field has a megaphone. Dustin Ackley. He had the RBI single to left field his first time up. Takes the pitch for a ball. That single in the second for Ackley snapped an 0 for 23 streak. One ball, one strike. The count here to Ackley. Tom Hutler, the Fox Sports 1 fan cam, caught fans here at the ballpark who are excited about Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming this August 17th. You can see him there with the megaphone. The 2-1 pitch from Samardzija. And Ackley fouls this one off down the left field line out of play.
Ackley had a real nice at bat his first time through. Worked the count, got into a hitter spot where it was 2-0, and then drove the ball to left. Runner on second, got the RBI.
And the dirt.
You know, everybody talks about him as being a pure hitter, Ackley, and you know, they like to compare him to Alex Gordon and his progression in Kansas City, where it took him about 4 years.
Ground ball to shortstop. There's Castro. And there are two away here in the fourth. Well, Alex Gordon, he started off as a third baseman. And then they moved him out to left field. Now he's a Gold Glove caliber left fielder. And of course, the Mariners are hoping that they actually moved Ackley to second base to start his career. Now he's back out in the outfield, and they're hoping he can turn himself into a reliable defensive player out there. 2 outs for Brendan Ryan, who doubled his first time up. He had that pop up down the right field line that Barney made a nice effort, had to pop out of his mitt, and that's how he got the double.
That's not a pop up in Mr. Ryan's book. That's a double. That's a double. That's just a double.
He smoked it. No pictures on the scorecard, no pictures in the box score, right?
Not on turn back the clock day.
There are no pictures at all.
No.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Brendan Ryan. Samardzija at 64 pitches through 3 2/3.
Wow.
Choked that one.
And that was a fastball. You see that once in a while with an off-speed pitch, but again, you know, Samardzija just laboring today. And sometimes as a pitcher, you got to go out there. You don't have your best stuff. You don't have command. Got to fight your way through things.
3-1, broken back. Ground goes short. Castro gets rid of it. And a 1-2-3 inning work by Samardzija here in the 4th. We played 4 in Seattle. It's still 2-1 Mariners. Lead things off, and he tries to lay down a bunt. Zunino picks up in foul territory. No balls and 1 strike. Bourbon came in for Ryan Sweeney last half inning in center field. Still waiting on word on what happened to Ryan Sweeney, but Bourbon on the season, 200, a home run and 3 RBIs.
Been in 50 games. Came over the Texas Rangers. I should say he came up with the Texas Rangers.
Ground ball, nice play by Harang as he's able to stab that one away. Mark Wagner, let's see what he says, the home plate umpire, about Sweeney.
Have a good one, brother.
Bart ball straight up for Sweeney.
All right. You get hurt going into that wall?
Rib on that.
Oh, man. Okay, Bob rolling straight up. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. We don't have a sideline reporter, but we have our own sideline reporter and the home plate umpire, Mark Wagner. He's doing some research for us.
Yeah, we've got that sounds of the game. You can see when he does hit the wall, he's got that left arm that the elbow kind of tucks up underneath the ribs. And could be a rib issue.
So 1 ball, no strikes down to Brian Bogusevic, who grounded out to first his first time up. Fouls it away, 1-1. Bogusevic will get some time in left field as the Cubs are here in the American League Park, and they can DH Soriano as the ground out to Brad Miller. And there are 2 away here on this turn back the clock day in Seattle. And look at these gloves we have here.
Tell me that you could play first base with this thing. I mean, seriously, it's about the size of my hand.
How about this? This was the catcher's mitts.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to catch the ball with 2 hands with this.
Well, now you know why guys are hitting 370 and 380. I mean, how do you get anybody out with this?
How do you swing this bat, though?
Well, guys weren't throwing 95 with splitters.
Really?
Throwing those big old, yeah.
What was the big train throwing?
He was doing all right. I don't know if he was throwing 95. Guy was throwing every single day, too. You think he had a pitch count?
No, definitely not. 1 ball, no strikes. Darwin Barney. Barney lines out to shortstop. Another 1-2-3 inning worked by Aaron Harang. Presented by Ace Hardware, sponsored by the 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. On a beautiful sunny afternoon here in Seattle, no reason to have the roof closed, unless, of course, you're Eric Karros and you sweat profusely in this heat, right?
I was going to say, I thought you were going to go with as a former hitter, you'd want it shut because you got those shadows coming. That's always fun as a hitter. Yeah, it was a little bit warm up here earlier.
Andy Chavez to lead things off takes the fastball inside for ball 1. Chavez 0 for 0 officially with 2 walks. Ground ball up the middle. Barney diving stop, gets to his feet, makes the play. And that's why he won a Gold Glove last year.
Well, he knows the speed of the runner. He knows he's a left-handed hitter, so he's going to be getting out of the box. Barney does a great job of getting to the ball, but even better, the transfer and throw. I mean, it's just all in one motion. Get it, don't even look, just turn and throw. Perfect one-hop throw, gets him by a step.
Brad Miller takes that first pitch slider, first strike. I almost think Chavez was surprised Barney got to that ball. Back-to-back sliders, back-to-back strikes here by Samardzija.
Well, a lot of times as a hitter, when you hit it, you may think, all right, that's going through, so I'm not going to just dart straight down, going to get a little turn over there at first, and then when you see him grab it, you're like, oh, no.
Inside out, foul ball. Still 0-2 here to Miller.
You know, it's ironic, too, because, again, this Cubs defense coming into today, nobody had more errors in the National League.
In the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 58 errors coming into this game for the Cubs.
Yep, tied with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Speaking of Dodgers, some big news out of Dodger camp today. Josh Beckett done for the season. Good pitch. Miller chases it. Castillo throws down the first, strikeout 2-3. That's strikeout number 4 for Samardzija. Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, is celebrating a new season for new memories. For your chance to win a community field makeover and an all-new 2014 Impala, visit ChevyBaseball.com. So the news on Josh Beckett: he will undergo surgery to relieve pressure on the nerve in his neck area. Seager takes the pitch for a strike, 0-1.
Well, he had been trying to avoid surgery through the other day, felt some tingling, and decided it was time to go get it taken care of.
Soft ground ball up the middle. There's Barney again. The quick release. Again, he gets his man. A 1-2-3 inning thanks to a couple of nice plays by the Gold Glovers. 2-1 Seattle. Of One-A-Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball, and by Leinenkugel Summer Shandy. Join us out here. Wouldn't mind joining them out there in the Puget Sound. It's not too shabby. It's a nice day to go out there. What, 85 degrees or so? You know, it's also nice.
Get a paddle board. I'd be out there. That'd be nice.
You're a paddle boarder?
I'm a paddle boarder.
First pitch to Wellington Castillo, the 9-hole hitter, taken outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Down low, 2-0. You see the sound. In 2015, the U.S. Open will be played right along Puget Sound at Chambers Bay in Tacoma.
You had a chance to get out there, correct?
I did. It is awesome. Line drive right field. Chavez in the sun makes the catch. 1 away. Should he be an all-star or should he not? That's the question.
Quiero estar en el juego de las estrellas. Escribe mi nombre aquí.
Well, this July, baseball's greatest stars gather in the most exciting city in the world for the biggest event of the summer. Baseball's Midsummer Classic returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game live from New York, July 16th, only on Fox. And should he be there, Yasiel Puig?
I think he should, for a couple of reasons. First of all, the game means something as far as home field advantage for the World Series. So if I'm a manager, I'm trying to win a game, of course I take a guy that can run, he can hit, he can throw. I can use him in so many different ways. The other reason I take him is he's one of the most exciting players to watch right now. And the fans want to see him. That's what the game is for. You know, a lot of the old school guys are talking about, well, you know, he hasn't paid his dues. He hasn't been here for 2.5 months.
Line drive, left center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Valbuena will head to second base as Ackley gets it on the wall, and it's a 1-out double for Luis Valbuena. That is his 11th double of the year. Well, you mentioned those old school players. You were a player. How would you feel if you were playing right now and here's Puig, who's been in the big leagues for about a month, and by the time the All-Star game comes around, he will have about 6 weeks of service time. Would you be okay if he were selected?
Because the game is different now, it means something, and it impacts. I would understand it. Would I like it? No, of course I wouldn't like it. But every year people don't like it. I mean, whether it's Puig or somebody else, everybody feels like, you know, if you don't go, you feel like you were, you know, cheated or something along those lines. But I think, again, he can help you win a game.
Starlin Castro fouls the first pitch back. 1 away, runner in scoring position in this 1-run ball game. Top of the 6th inning, Castro 2 for 2, a home run back in the first, and a line drive single to right field his last time up. I think he should be there too. Fans want to see him. Everybody wants to see this guy play.
You tell me you wouldn't want to see him go up against Verlander? I mean, you'd love that. You'd love to see that matchup.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny because you say him against Verlander. Right now, we've got an interleague game, right? The Reds and the Rangers interleague game. Doesn't feel that way.
No, no.
Harang's 0-2. Outside with a fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is a big spot right now for Aaron Harang with Starlin Castro at the plate. The tying run at second base. And you've got Castro here, followed by Shearholtz, then Soriano. One, two, got him chasing. Nice pitch by Aaron Harang. That is the first strikeout of the game for Harang. Well, apparently it was a foul tip. I apologize, and Zunino's confused too.
Yeah, I think that the home plate umpire, Mark Wagner, felt like it was a foul tip. Zunino said no way.
Here's Eric Wedgeout to argue.
Yeah, he's got to at least ask for help. I think Castro thinks he completely missed it.
Oh, he completely missed it.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. He's looking back just to see if he caught the ball.
Maybe what he heard was that sound. The ball.
Yeah, look at Castro knows. All you got to do is look at Castro. We see that again. You watch Castro; he's walking away.
So another 1-2, and this time a ground ball is short. Ryan checks the runner, retires Castro, so it's not a strikeout. Instead, it's a 6-3. Two away now for Nate Schierholtz. And as Nate Schierholtz steps to the plate, the OPS leaders in the NL for June only. And you see Puig up there, leads the way. How about Michael Kadire got another base hit today? He's got 20. He's got a 26-game hitting streak now.
Yep. Yeah, having a nice year in Colorado. But you see this right here. You're talking about the player that may not get selected would be replaced by a guy like Puig. It could be a guy like Schierholtz. You know, who is that Cubs representative? Schierholtz having a nice year this year.
Yeah, you know.
But
what?
again, who's going to help?
Close. Right. I mean, you got a guy who's 284, 11 homers, 33 RBIs. Yeah, those are nice numbers. But Puig's putting up insane numbers.
But who's your Cubs representative?
Samardzija or
Travis Wood.
Wood. You know, I mean, you've got guys who can certainly get there.
Schierholtz is having a nice year this year.
But he's also platooning.
Hey, look, there's been a lot of guys that have played in all-star games that you just wonder, wow, with these numbers.
2 balls and 1 strike here to Schierholtz. I just think right now, with last year, with Bryce Harper, with Mike Trout, now with Puig, Manny Machado in Baltimore, you've got some young guys that you can really look to kind of build the game around. Young, everyday position players. Pulled to the hole on the right side. Chavez, he's going to come up throwing. Here's Valbuena, and he's going to score easily as Schierholtz goes down to second with a throw getting to center field, and Ackley backs it up. An RBI single here by Schierholtz ties this game at 2. So Schierholtz saying, you sure you don't want me in the All-Star game?
Again, Schierholtz, probably the representative for the Cubs this year. Having a nice season. Here he gets the 2-out RBI.
You think over Wood?
I mean, Wood is having a nice season as well. There's no question about it. You're talking about everyday player. Schierholtz. Wood absolutely is going to get a lot of consideration.
Broken bat, flare to center field. Schierholtz, he will score on the 2-out RBI single by Soriano, and the Cubs go on top 3-2.
Well, Aaron Harang just going, you got to be kidding me. But this is where that throw from Endy Chavez really comes back to bite the Mariners. Completely missed the cutoff man. Sails the throw. Schierholtz able to go into second base and then scores on the broken bat base hit. Just off the end of the bat.
That was literally off the end of the bat.
It really was. Soriano, too, even at 37, is your team leader in stolen bases.
8 for 11 on the season in stolen bases. And with Rizzo at the plate, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get to second here.
I think I've got to let Rizzo drive something in the gap.
Rizzo off the end of the bat to center field. Ackley comes in. That'll do it for the 6th, but not before back-to-back 2-out RBI singles by Schierholtz and Soriano. The Cubs lead 3-2.
A half inning after the Brewers failed to score despite a leadoff triple, Garrett Jones goes deep. His 7th of the year. The Bucks are hot. Best record in baseball, trying to extend their longest winning streak in a decade to 8. Yankees and Orioles, and Ryan Flaherty puts the finishing touches on a dreadful night for David Phelps. 9 earned in 2 1/3. Baltimore has padded its major league leading home run total to 111, and with the Red Sox loss, they could go to bed just 2.5 out of first place. Let's get you back to Justin and Eric in Seattle.
All right, thanks so much, Matt. Back here in Seattle, Kendrys Morales will lead things off here against Samardzija. And Jeff Samardzija delivers a first pitch fastball first strike. Morales 0 for 2. Struck out, flew out to the wall in center field his last time up, where Ryan Sweeney injured a rib, and he is out of the game now. Julio Bourbon is in the game. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Morales. Lone outside, 2-1. So speaking of the Baltimore Orioles, Tim McCarver said today that he can see this Orioles team representing the American League in the World Series. What do you think?
I think it's a pretty bold statement. I mean, they're hot right now. They're playing well, but I don't know how you get through. I understand Detroit's bullpen is struggling, but you're going to beat Verlander and Scherzer. Not seeing that.
You got to think. I mean, the trade deadline's coming up. We talked about Josh Beckett. He's going down for the Dodgers. There's been rumors about the Dodgers going hard after Ricky Nolasco from the Marlins. You know there's going to be some closer traded at some point, and you would think that Detroit would be in the market for that closer. Is it a Jonathan Papelbon? Is it a Kevin Gregg?
I mean, there are a number of guys that'll get an opportunity. Again, to say that Baltimore, though, is the team that represents, we'll have to remind him of that comment in August or September, I should say.
The 3-2 here from Samardzija. Foul back into the seats.
Well, Samardzija doing a real nice job. We saw early on just really didn't have a good feel, was throwing a lot of pitches. The last few innings really settled down. He's kept his ball club in the game. He's given them an opportunity to score some runs, and lo and behold, he's got a lead.
3-2, hard line drive through the hole with the second baseman Barney playing in right field. And it's a leadoff single here for Morales with Ibanez coming up, and we turn back the clock to 1997. That was a late great Hall of Famer Dave Niehaus on the call. And now Ibanez at the age of 41 steps to the plate here against Samardzija, and he takes that first pitch slider low and inside for ball 1. Ibanez has had a terrific month of June.
See Rizzo playing off behind Morales at first. He held him on the first pitch, but smart. Morales not going to run. Rizzo getting an opportunity to give himself a little more ground to cover with the left-handed hitting Ibanez.
Ibanez got under it to center field. Bourbon a couple steps to his right, one away. This was Ibanez speaking about that first career home run.
Well, my memory of that was, I had flied out to left, and I wasn't having a really good game. And as I was walking up to the plate through the dugout, Lou Piniella said to me, "Son, when you go up there," he said, "swing the bat like a man." He said, not the way that you're swinging it. And there was a few adjectives in there that Lou added. So I got kind of upset on the inside, of course, and I walked up there and I got to a 3-0 count, and I looked down and I saw John McLaren give me the 3-0 swing away sign, and in my mind I remember thinking, "You want me to swing away? Okay, I'll swing away." And I swung as hard as I could, and I happened to hit it, and it went out of the park.
That's awesome.
That's just good managing by Lou Piniella, right? I mean,
hey, you got to motivate your guys.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's had a real nice career.
Justin Smoke had a home run his first time up. Takes that pitch for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Smoke is 1 for 2 in the ball game. I mean, Raul Ibanez, he's one of those guys that has seemed to have gotten better with age. He signed that 3-year deal with Philadelphia, and some people thought, really, you're going to give a 3-year deal to a guy who's about 37 years old and had 3 pretty good years, had 1 great year in Philly. Fastball's in there, strike 2, and then he signed with the Yankees last year, and who can forget those heroics that he had in the postseason when he, of course, came in to pinch hit for Alex Rodriguez, and that set off the whole, firestorm of what's going on, but came through, and now he's here in Seattle. And even yesterday, I'm looking at numbers. I go, Raul Ibanez has 18 home runs. I mean, that's just remarkable. 41 years old, grew up in Miami. His favorite player growing up was George Brett. Not a bad guy
Pretty
to
good
emulate.
hitter. Yep. Great hitter, Hall of Famer. I think more than anything, he got better. He's just more experienced, smarter.
That misses way inside. Now it's 3-2 to Justin Smoke.
He's become a smarter hitter over the years. Still physically can get out there, but I think it's just the wealth of knowledge. And as I said, the experience, it's allowed him to continue to be a very successful hitter at this level.
4th full count of the game for Jeff Samardzija. This will be the 90th pitch of the night. Got him chasing. Looked like that forkball, that splitter right there as it was dancing. Strikeout number 5 for Samardzija. 2 away, and Mike Zunino will come to the plate. 1 for 2, a run scored. Doubled back in the 2nd. First pitch, ground ball to 3rd. Valbuena to 2nd for the easy out, and that will do it here in the 6th. We're through 6. It's 3-2 Cubs. We'll return to Seattle after a word from your local Fox station. Presented by Ace Hardware. Back here in Seattle, top of the 7th we go in a 3-2 ball game as the Cubs lead the Mariners. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros, and Tulio Bourbon, Brian Bogusevic, and Darwin Barney against Aaron Harang. And the first pitch fastball is in there for a strike. Bourbon came in as a replacement for Ryan Sweeney, who injured his rib running into the wall. Inside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, I don't know about you, but a lot of people ask me, what's your favorite ballpark to go to? This right here is one of them.
Yeah, there's no question. This is real nice.
Farquhar starts to throw in the pen for the Mariners. A pop-up. Zunino behind home plate, throws the mask away, comes back and makes the catch and almost trips over that mask. Tonight's Fox Sports 1 game summary presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming this August 17th. Aaron Harang pitching well, 6 1/3, has given up those 3 runs. The Cubs have now homered in 9 straight games, and the Mariners score those 2 runs on 4 consecutive hits in the 2nd inning. But that's been it really for them. Jeff Samardzija was struggling early with his commands. They could not strike, or at least could not blow the game wide open, and now they trail. Vegas behind the count, 0-1.
Well, Aaron Harang doing a nice job for the Mariners. Gave up that home run, but ended up 2 2-out hits, RBI scoring hits.
Ground ball to second. Brad Miller, the rookie, there to make the play, and there's 2 away. So, okay, we told you earlier that only 2 of 12 starts this year has Aaron Harang gone more than 6 innings. In those 2 starts that he went more than 6 innings, he threw complete game shutouts. May 27th against San Diego, June 11th against Houston. He has now gone 6 2/3, and he's thrown 86 pitches. He won't have a shutout, but will he get a complete game?
I don't think he goes to the complete game.
I don't think so either.
Not going to happen. But he has done a very nice job today.
Well, first pitch swinging loop to right field. Here comes Chavez, and that was a quick 6-pitch inning for Aaron Harang. So he's saying, "Oh, really,
maybe,
Eric? Maybe I will go."
That's a fellow Patrick Henry alum. Do it, Aaron.
Hey, bottom half of the 7th we go. Stretch them out here in Seattle. Today's telecast presented by Ace Hardware, sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Mount Rainier off of the distance. What a shot. Beautiful. One of the few times in my life that I've really been awestruck by nature was the first time I saw Mount Rainier. Dustin Ackley to lead off against Jeff Samardzija. I was sleeping on a bus going from Seattle to Portland. I woke up, and all of a sudden I see this mountain, and I'm like, what is that? It's huge.
Can a mountain be small?
Yeah.
All right, Dustin Ackley here.
2 balls and no strikes to Ackley. RBI single back in the second, and a ground out to short his last time up. Fouled away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Samardzija getting up there. 94 pitches, you see.
Two-one fastball, tails outside. 3 balls and 1 strike, and that's one thing when watching Jeff Samardzija pitch. How many guys do you know can throw a 2-seamer at 96 or 97 with that kind of movement?
That's what's allowed him to be successful.
And showing off his athleticism, the 2-sport star at Notre Dame makes the first play. Let's take a look at the Fox Sports 1 pitcher comparison presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming this August 17th. Aaron Harang has gone 7, 3 runs on 5 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Samardzija 6 1/3, 6 hits and 2 runs, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts.
Well, really a difference in the game. A broken bat single by Alfonso Soriano with 2 outs drove in Nate Scherholtz, and that's the difference right now.
And a pinch hitter here for the Mariners. It'll be Nick Franklin to pinch hit for Brendan Ryan. And the slider misses up high for ball 1.
This is another one of the youngsters come up and been given an opportunity at second base and really run with it. Hitting over 300, having great at bats, driving in runs.
Last 15 games, 13 of those 15 he's had a hit, 5 with at least 2 hits, hitting .339 over those last 15 games. And their first strike, 2-1. And if you're wondering what will happen in the top half of the 8th, you'll see Franklin go in to play second base, and Brad Miller will move over from second base to shortstop. Fastball is low and outside. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Fouled away, 3-2. Nick Franklin not just doing it with his offense, also doing it defensively. And you just saw the graphic that Franklin and Ackley were both drafted in the same year, both first-round picks. Ackley was a second baseman. He's now moved to center, and Franklin's now playing second base. And on that pitch right there, he resembled Ichiro with a swing.
Yeah, getting that running start to first. Eric Wedge telling us that this guy just baseball 24/7. That's all he's worried about. You see that running swing. Oh, here we go. Just kind of slap it to left and run to right.
Going old school. The double flap helmet for the switch hitter as he takes the walk. And a good at bat there for Franklin.
Yeah, Samardzija didn't like the call at all. It felt like the ball had come back over the plate.
By the way, speaking of Ichiro, do they still have the Ichiro here, even though he's not playing here anymore?
I can't say that I was walking around the park to find out.
I want to try the Ichiro if they had it, and I've been told the garlic fries here are the best garlic fries in Major League.
There's only one way to find out, right?
Absolutely.
See that pitch? Looks like it ran back over the plate. Castillo trying to frame it.
Andy Chavez now hits with a runner on at first, and Franklin gets back to the bag as they check on him. Franklin on the year is 4 for 5 in stolen bases. Here we are in the bottom of the 7th, and now Castillo will go out to speak with Jeff Samardzija. And I did receive word that a couple of weeks ago when the Yankees were in town, they did have the Ichiro here. But I still want to try
you
the garlic
haven't had,
fries.
right? Yeah, and the garlic fries, right?
I thought we're working in close quarters. I'd avoid the garlic fries today.
Thank you very much.
Andy Chavez a chance here to do something, especially because, as you pointed out, back when the Cubs were able to put 2 on the board in the 6th, he had that throw that missed the cutoff man that allowed Schierholtz to get to second. And Schierholtz then came around to score on the broken bat RBI single by Soriano, and that's the difference right now in this game.
Well, not a bad time for Franklin to run, because it's an opportunity to get into scoring position, make something happen. Chavez pretty good with putting the bat on the ball.
High and outside. One ball, one strike. Here the count to Chavez. Franklin bluffs, fouled away, 1-2.
But you're talking about that throw earlier, Justin. You see Chavez coming in. Schierholtz hit the ball. He never stops once he sees the trajectory of that throw. He gets into second base, and then Soriano hits a broken bat single, scores him. The difference in the game.
In the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. James Russell and Carlos Villanueva warming up from the bullpen for Chicago. The Mariners' top 3 hitters in the order. They combined 0 for 7 with 2 walks. Both those walks courtesy of the man at the plate. No runner has reached base for the Mariners since the 2nd inning. 2-2. Chavez to left field. Bogusevic over to make the catch, and retreating back to first is Franklin, 2 away. Look at what Samardzija has done the first time through the lineup and since.
Well, and we talked about at the top of the show about him getting into a rhythm, finding his release point, just getting acclimated to the environment. He clearly didn't have it when he started the game, no question. But again, he made some adjustments. He was able to get himself into a rhythm, and here we are in the 7th inning. He's got a 1-run lead.
And now you wonder if Franklin will try to get into scoring position here with Seager up, and that was a meager swing. No balls and 1 strike. Excuse me, Brad Miller up.
Miller's still looking for his first base hit.
Off speed pitch missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. I mean, Franklin twice now timed Samardzija pretty well. Gets 2 quick steps, but holds up, and I think he's itching to go.
3-2 ball game, bottom half of the 7th here in Seattle. And they check on the runner. Samardzija at 110 pitches. Ripped foul. Jeff Samardzija's gone 100-plus pitches in 14 of his 17 starts this year. He's one of those workhorses in baseball. We've got a fair number of them out there now, with Justin Verlander, Felix Hernandez, who we spoke to, Matt Harvey with the Mets. A couple of throwback guys. Yu Darvish with the Rangers.
Well, Dale Swain just trying to get Samardzija through this inning. Go to the bullpen into the 8th. Again, has not had a lot of success with that bullpen this year, the Cubs.
Blew the lead last night. There goes Franklin in the dirt, and he will be in the second base easily. So he does get into scoring position, and that is his 5th stolen base of the year.
They just knew that was coming with watching Franklin over at first. Like I said, he had timed him a few pitches, and then finally decided this is the one I'm going.
Good time right now for Miller to pick up his first career hit. He was putting up some really good numbers in AAA Tacoma. Fly ball left center field. Bourbon calling for it. Will make the catch. And that will do it here in the 7th. No runs on no hits. One man left on base. Samardzija, after struggling early with his command, has settled down and gotten through 7. Two for the Cubs as Nick Franklin. That's Nick Franklin at second, and Brad Miller has moved to short from second. Wellington Castillo to lead things off. Aaron Harang, who had a 6-pitch 7th inning, back out there in the 8th, and he gets ahead in the count 0-1 against Castillo, who's 0 for 2, a ground out and a line out. Check swing. Did he go? The appeal to first base, and Laz Diaz says yes, he did. 0-2.
Well, Eric Wedge running Aaron Harang back out there, giving him an opportunity to get a win in this game. Got the middle of the order, Seattle coming up in the bottom of the 8th, and he has pitched well.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and you guys went to the same high school.
We were at the same high school. He was a few years after me, quite a few. Big man went on to San Diego State. He's had a very successful big league career.
The 1-2. Pulled down the left field line. Foul ball. Harang, he was a big time prospect with the Oakland A's. Back in around 2001, 2002, was up in AAA in 03, got to the big leagues. pitched a long time with the Reds, been with 5 organizations over the course of his career. Was acquired from the Colorado Rockies back on April 11th. Another 1-2, spoiled foul again. Sixth-round draft pick by the Rangers. But he was in that group with the A's with Rich Harden. That people have talked about as, you know, hey, these are the next. That's the next wave of pitchers to come through.
Right.
That's what I always kind of laugh about Moneyball. The reason why Moneyball was so successful, they had 3 pitchers named Zito, Mulder, and Hudson, all at a young age, pitching at a high level.
Yeah, they really did. And you had a MVP in Giambi, and then an MVP in Tejada, and then Chavez there. I mean, they just had a great team. Bottom line, wasn't a bunch of overachievers.
The 3-2 from Harang. Got him looking. That is the first strikeout of the game for Harang. Castillo does not like it.
That's a pretty darn good pitch right there. Tough to argue, especially if you're the catcher. You don't want to get the home plate umpire upset at you.
Fox Sports is proud to partner with Johns Hopkins Medicine, one of this year's Fox Sports supports charities. Johns Hopkins is at the forefront of groundbreaking research into autoimmune disorders like multiple sclerosis and lupus. Join us in the fight against autoimmune diseases. Donate now by visiting hopkinsmedicine.org/Fox as Valbuena fouled off the first pitch and is behind in the count 0-1. He is 1 for 3, doubled and scored back in the 6th. We talked about the first 3 hitters in the order for Seattle, how they really haven't done much in this game. Well, the first 4 batters in the order for Chicago are 5 for 12 as this one is popped foul into the seats. And it's 1-2. But 5 for 9 are 0 for 15.
We talked about it. Neither one of these clubs very consistent offensively. They rely on the home run. Don't seem to string together a lot of hits. Don't hit well with runners in scoring position.
One, two's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
On the Seattle side, you have a lot of youth. One of the reasons for that. Chicago just as well. Rizzo and Castro, Barney.
Fastball missing inside. Harang wanted it. 91 miles per hour here in the 8th inning. Three-two, fouled back. That was pretty close for us getting a foul ball.
Close enough to look at, not close enough to make an effort.
Second straight full count here for Harang. That's below us. That one I would have ducked.
Just move to the side. Don't need to play hero and try and catch one of those.
Still 3 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Luis Valbuena. 1 for 3. A 3-2 ball game here in the top of the 8th. And Valbuena to right field. Andy Chavez calls off his center fielder Ackley. 2 away. The Chicago Cubs playing in maybe the best division in baseball right now, the National League Central. with the Pirates having the best record in baseball. The Cardinals a half game behind them. The Reds 4.5 back. And the question surrounding the Cubs right now is what's going to happen come trade deadline? Who goes, who stays? Starlin Castro first pitch, fouls it back on the slider, 0-1.
Well, you'll get a lot of teams calling about Matt Garza, Kevin Gregg, probably Scherholtz as well.
Maybe David DeJesus when he comes back.
And you've probably got 3 or 4 untouchables. Samardzija, Castro, Rizzo, and probably Wood.
And Castro lines out to Raul Ibanez out there in left field. Another 1-2-3 inning for Harang. Can he get the complete game? It's 3-2 Chicago. Presented by Ace Hardware, sponsored by Budweiser. America's beer supports America's heroes. And by AT&T, rethink possible. Bottom of the 8th, here in Seattle, the new pitcher into the ball game is James Russell. Russell pitched last night for the Cubs. A blown save as he allowed 2 runs on 3 hits in 2/3 of an inning. He got off to a fantastic start on the season. Started with 17 straight scoreless outings. But you see his numbers right now, 1-1 with a 2.61 ERA in 31 innings pitched. And he will face Seager, Morales, and Ibanez here in the 8th inning.
Oh, and he's another guy that I think a lot of clubs will be calling the Cubs about. He's very effective matchup reliever, somebody who can even face right-handers as well.
So Kyle Seager's 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a ground out to second. James Russell, lefty hitters hitting 177 off him this year. Off the end of the bat, foul. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 from Russell. Good pitch. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. His father, Jeff Russell, longtime pitcher in the big leagues. Pitched for the Reds, the Rangers, the A's, the Red Sox, Indians. I think most people remember him, though, with the Rangers. 0-2 is fouled away. So we've got Jeff Russell with his son James Russell pitching the big leagues. I like the shoes.
Those are not throwback shoes, I can tell you.
No, but that's getting in the spirit of July 4th. Next week. That would be appropriate for next week. Another 0-2 pitch. Line drive to second base. Caught by Barney. 1 away. The real question is, we've got a father-son combination there. Of course, here in Seattle, you had Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. Will we have Eric Karros and maybe one of your sons playing the big leagues one day?
We're just trying to get through Little League right now, Justin. Just trying to get through Little League.
Just keeping it all in perspective. All-Star tournaments, though, right?
Little League has started, yes. Little League All-Star stuff.
Kendrys Morales, the switch hitter, turns around to bat from the right side and takes the first pitch for a strike. Backdoor breaking ball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count here to Morales, who's 1 for 3. Singled his last at bat, flew out to the wall in center field, and also struck out. Pulled foul, 1-2.
Well, Morales and Ibanez instrumental last night in the 8th inning, tying this game up, being able to go 10.
One, 2 is outside. The third game of this series tomorrow will be Jeremy Bonderman against Edwin Jackson.
What a pickup Bonderman has been. He is just throwing exceptionally well.
2-2 off the end of the bat. How about that piece of hitting by Morales? Just sticks the bat out there, puts it in play. And now the tying run is on base, and up comes Raul Ibanez.
Well, and that's hitting. He tried to go away on a pitch, and Morales knows that Russell wants to get him out away, looking away. And again, as a hitter, he just serves it out there. Not trying to pull it, not trying to drive it way out there. It goes back to that old adage, you got to take what the pitcher gives you.
Got a pinch runner now for Morales. It will be Jason Bay. Bay will pinch run here for Morales, representing the tying run. So lefty versus lefty. Raul Ibanez with 9 home runs in the month of June. 1 for 3 in this one. And a look over at first base. Jason Bay is 3 for 3 on the season in stolen bases. In the dirt, slider, 1 ball and no strikes. The Mariners got 2 runs in the second and nothing since. Breaking ball. Misses high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, again, that's not like the fastballs where they were trying to establish the inner part of the plate and move Raul off. Just slips out of the hand there.
2-0, doesn't give him a fastball, comes back with a slider now, 3 balls and no strikes. Do you green light him here? His first career home run was on a 3-0 pitch.
I absolutely green light him. Against left-handed pitchers this year, Ibanez has 6 home runs. Absolutely. I'm trying to yank one out of the park here.
Russell's 3-0. Kind of buckled his knees on.
Well, he figures if he gets that 3-0, he's going to get the same pitch 3-1. If I'm Raul, I'm looking for something on the inner half of the plate, trying to turn on it.
3-1. Bay takes off. They have him picked off. And Jason Bay is picked off, caught stealing. 1-3-6.
See, I just can't do that with a 3-1 count with a man up there that's got 18 home runs. The last thing that happens is I get picked off or thrown out trying to steal. Not with 1 out. Not with 1 out and Ibanez up.
So now 2 away. And the 3-1, Ibanez off the end of the bat to left field. That drops in front of Bogusevic. Ibanez hustling into second base, and he is in there with a hustle double.
That's 2 plays that we've just watched that I'd classify as not so smart. You know, this situation, you've got 2 outs. You just want to keep the ball in front of you. Don't have an opportunity to catch it. You want to keep the runner off of second base. Now he's in scoring position. A base hit ties the game. And that's the whole thing. You know, baseball's not just reacting. It's about thinking ahead, thinking about possible situations. An old coach once told me the scoreboard will always dictate how you play. You know, 1-run lead, 2 outs. Got to keep the man off second base.
And now a visit out to the mound by Chris Bosio, the pitching coach. And of course, Bosio very popular here in Seattle, threw a no-hitter while pitching for the Mariners. When he comes back, smiles all around by the folks here. Go to MLBFanCave.com and pledge your NL or AL allegiance. Don't miss the action of the 2013 All-Star Game. Tuesday, July 16th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, only on Fox. So the tying run at second base, Justin Smoak will turn around to bat from the right side.
And I think what he's saying is, Bosio, you just be careful with him because he's got the power to drive it out of the ballpark. You have first base open. You can wiggle the sides. If you go down to first base, then you've got the youngster Zunino up. You've got a force out at any spot. Again, you can nibble against Smoak.
Breaking ball misses for ball 1. You've got Zunino on deck, and Zunino's 1 for 3 with a double. Carlos Villanueva is warming up out there, the right-hander for the Chicago Cubs. So if Smoak were to get on, I think you'd see Villanueva against Mike Zunino.
I just can't imagine Smoak getting anything good to hit. You know, no fastballs over the heart of the plate. Going to be breaking stuff down in the zone, away, off the plate.
Changeup, foul tip, and that one caught Castillo. You can see him say ow.
Well, Mark Wagner, the home plate umpire, buying him some time. Franklin coming in. Excuse me, Barney.
What amazes me is if you shake a catcher's hand That left hand is swollen the entire season. And that doesn't even count all the other bumps and bruises they get from foul balls.
And that's why any catcher that can hit, you just got to tip your hat, because it's hard enough to hit when you're feeling really good, let alone when you've got all the nagging injuries that a catcher has to go through over the course of a year.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Smoke. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-2 Cubs lead the Mariners, trying to even this series at 1 game apiece. And Smoke, a hanging breaking ball to left field. They're going to wave Ibanez. Here comes Bogusevic's throw. The play at the plate. Got him. Bogusevic makes the play to allow Ibanez to get to second. And now he makes the play to cut him down at the plate. Brian Bogusevic, a big play, cutting down the tying run at the plate to end the 8th inning. Smoke got a breaking ball and a strong throw by Bogusevic.
Well, the former pitcher throws it on a line. A perfect one hop to Castillo. Does a nice job handling the ball, and he beats a sliding Ibanez.
And a good call by the home plate umpire, Mark Wegner. So now we go to the 9th, a new pitcher into the game here for the Seattle Mariners, or the Seattle Turks because of the uniforms. And it's Charlie Furbush, 1-4 on the year, 4.03 ERA. 43 strikeouts and 16 walks in 29 innings. And the lefty will face Nate Shearholtz. And the fastball's in at the knees for a strike. Shearholtz, RBI single in the 6th, and he scored the go-ahead run on the RBI single by Soriano.
Well, he and Soriano, the big at-bats of the game, both 2-out RBI hits.
That slider he could not hold up, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Furbush not a lot of fun to hit against as a left-handed hitter.
Meanwhile, Aaron Harang's game. Goes for naught. 8 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. And a slider chased and missed by Schierholtz. Furbush, quick work with Schierholtz.
Well, this is Schierholtz right here, and this is with 2 outs. Nice base hit, and then this was the backbreaker. Soriano, a little ball off the end of the bat, scores Schierholtz and puts the Cubs ahead 3-2.
1 away now for Alfonso Soriano. Just saw his RBI single from the 6th. He's 1 for 3. And he fouls the first pitch down the right field line, out of play. Will somebody take Alfonso Soriano at the trade deadline if the Cubs eat a majority of his contract?
You know, if the production was better, I think that's a possibility, but the production just hasn't been there. Now, if he gets hot in the next few weeks, absolutely a possibility.
And you have to think that if somebody will take him, it's going to be an American League team,
absolutely.
So he can DH.
Absolutely.
With his home run last night, passed a couple of pretty good players. In the air to left center. Ackley lays out. He can't make the play. Gets away from him. And Soriano is in his second base, and Ackley is still on the ground.
I think he hurt his left wrist. Yeah, it just kind of, he just lawn darted that right into the, yeah, that's not good. He's done. That's a thumb or a wrist.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
He knows right away.
I think it's the thumb.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
I don't know if we want to see much of this. Yeah. Man, this kid can't catch a break. Changes positions. Now in center field, and now this happens.
Well, you see, coming in to try and make that diving catch, and the glove just gets stuck, and then the body just carries his momentum. And
look away if you want to. I know I will. When a player doesn't even attempt to get a ball, you know they're injured. Michael Saunders. We expect him to make his way out of the dugout.
That's Jason Bay.
It's Jason Bay. Jason Bay pinch ran for Kenji Morales in the DH position. So Bay and Seattle will lose. Well, excuse me. They'll lose the DH position as Bay will go over and play right field. Endy Chavez will go from right field to center field. And the pitcher will now hit in the number 8 spot. Anthony Rizzo will hit now with 1 out and a runner at second here in the top of the 9th inning. Rizzo is 0 for 3, a line out to second, a ground out to second, and a fly out to center back in the 6th inning. On the hands, a little pop-up. Zanino over to make the catch in foul territory. Nice play by the rookie catcher. All-Star Game festivities begin next Saturday with a selection show here on Fox. Then on July 15th, don't miss the Home Run Derby on ESPN. And on Tuesday, July 16th, see the players arrive on the red carpet show on MLB Network, followed by the 2013 All-Star Game right here on Fox at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
That ought to be a lot of fun out there.
City Fiesta.
Will Puig be there is the question.
I wonder if that will start trending on Twitter.
Oh, it's got to.
Julio Bourbon. There's the first pitch slider, first strike. The Lakers are trying to get Dwight Howard to stay with them. Will there be billboards for Puig to get to the All-Star game?
I think the people in L.A. will be excited about the billboards with Puig. The Howard, that's about 50-50.
Another slider. 0-2. And honestly, I wouldn't go all out to keep him if I'm the Lakers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. A big run out there.
Soriano at second base. And a turn and look at him.
They've had two-out RBI hits today. Looking for a third one right now.
Both of those came in the sixth. Shearholtz and then Soriano. Oh-2 popped up, foul. Seager gave it a try, stays 0-2. Now looking ahead to the ninth inning. For the Mariners, they have Zanino. Then the pitcher spot will come up because they lose the DH. And then you have Franklin. So as far as guys on the bench that you can go to pinch hit, that may be the reason. Well, we've got Michael Saunders who can pinch hit, or Henry Blanco who can pinch hit. Those are the two guys left on the bench for the Mariners.
Well, and it all depends who the Cubs run out there for that ninth inning.
Got him with a slider. So Furbush gets around the one-out double by Soriano. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Cubs trying to hang on for the 3-2 win.
What's up, Danier? How you doing, buddy? Way to swing yesterday.
Put the barrel on it when he needs to.
No catch. Out. Out.
That was our home plate umpire, Mark Wegner, who's been mic'd up all game long. And first pitch swinging is Zunino to third base. Valbuena. One pitch, one out for the new pitcher, the closer, Kevin Gregg, who's trying to pick up his 13th save of the season. He's a perfect 12 for 12 in save opportunities. And now the pinch hitter is going to be Henry Blanco. You know, it's really funny how things play out, but here is Kevin Gregg. You see his numbers. They're great. Although Gregg has given up a run in each of his last 2 appearances. He was released by the Dodgers on April 3rd. He signed a minor league contract with the Cubs, and here he is now as a closer, as Carlos Marmol is now gone. And who knows what Kevin Gregg can bring in a trade.
Well, and that's another guy that a lot of clubs are going to look at to add as a playoff contending team. The Dodgers could absolutely have used Kevin Gregg. They've struggled quite a bit. You got to be careful though with Blanco, and this is, he's sitting on an inside fastball. That's all he's looking for right now, and if you throw him one, he is going to turn on it. When you're 2-0, you just can't think, well, I'm going to throw one over here. He's up there to do one thing. That's a good 2-0 pitch.
On the outside part of the plate. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Now you see by that swing, Henry's up there. As I mentioned, he's thinking one thing, and that pitch was away from him. Got to stay away. Blanco hit a grand slam in his debut at the Mariners against the A's earlier this year.
2-2 fouled away. Next Saturday, baseball night in America. We got the White Sox against the Rays. Dodgers travel to San Francisco, that great rivalry. Braves and Phillies, Astros and Rangers, or the Mets and Brewers. Fox's baseball night in America begins next Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, starting with the MLB All-Star Game Selection Show. In the dirt. And now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pinch hitter, Henry Blanco, with Nick Franklin on deck.
Well, Blanco gets on. What do? You run Saunders.
Yep. Blanco the other way into the seats. Stays 3-2.
Blanco been around for a long time. Seattle signed him as a mentor to Zunino.
Another 3-2 is in the dirt, gets by Castillo. So a good at bat. Blanco works the walk, puts the tying run on base. And let's see if they do go and use the pinch hitter Michael Saunders for Blanco. That is the last available position player for the Mariners. No move yet from the dugout. Here comes Saunders. Saunders 10 for 12 in stolen bases on the season. We saw it in the 8th inning. Jason Bay, a pickoff caught stealing. And that proved to be costly because then Raul Ibanez had the double.
But you can't get too caught up in the runner because this man at the plate right now is arguably the most dangerous hitter in the Seattle lineup. I say that just because he's hit well with runners in scoring position. He's going to give you a tough at bat. No, he's not up there just trying to jerk the ball over the fence. Goes gap to gap.
Franklin worked to walk his first time up. And that breaking ball misses for a ball. Three-2 ball game, bottom of the ninth. Takes the strike, 1 ball and 1 strike to Nick Franklin. Franklin was not in the starting lineup. Sore neck, felt better as the day went on. Eric Witch told us he came in for some treatment, started getting better. He would be available tonight, and he came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. All right, Rizzo just went out to speak to Greg after that throw over to first base. Did you see something on that?
No, just a lot going on. And what you want to do as a first baseman, you'll go to your pitcher and say, look, you know, I'm all about throwing the ball over here to first and keeping the runner close, but we're not trying to pick people off, because the last thing we need is a pitcher to be throwing something down the right field line or worrying more about the guy at first than the guy at the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike to Franklin. Fouled away into the seats, 1-2.
You know, sometimes the pitchers get excited and think that they're going to pick the guy off over at first base, and they start spending way too much time on that.
Kevin Gregg trying to make it 13 for 13 and save opportunities as a closer for the Cubs. 1 away in the 9th. Again, a throwback over to first base. Andy Chavez is on deck. Again, a throwback over to first, and the fans here at the ballpark are booing.
Yeah, and all you're doing right there as a defensive team is just forcing that runner to go diving back in, diving back in. You don't want to. You want to disrupt his rhythm. You want to throw him off. Come set. You may go quicker to home.
1-2, pulled to first base. Rizzo will pick it up in fair territory. Step on the bag. Down to second base goes Saunders. 2 away. Time for the Burger King play of the game, brought to you by Burger King, where taste is king. And we go back to the last inning where Justin Smoke singled to left field. Brian Bogusevic able to cut down Ibanez as the tying run at the plate. That is the Burger King play of the game. So 2 outs, runner at second for Andy Chavez, who is 0 for 2 with 2 walks. 1 for 2 in his career against Greg. That 1 hit, a home run. In the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. The producer of tonight's game is Larry Lancaster. The director is Brian Lilly. The associate director is Yvonne Wagner. And the broadcast associate is Gilbert Cepeda. Our technical producer is Dan Rotante. The technical director, Joel Blosser. The pregame show produced by Ethan Kleinberg and directed by Mike Martin. And our statistician is Scott Lightman. Look at these numbers for the Mariners' top 3 hitters.
Yeah, not good. But again, no matter what those numbers look like, the Cubs have to be smart here. You've got first base open. You've got a rookie on deck that is still looking for his first hit in the big leagues. He's never faced you.
Chavez back up the middle. Here comes Saunders. A blown single. We're tied at 3.
Yeah, I just couldn't get that out of my mouth quick enough. I saw that thing coming a mile away. As far as you don't go after Chavez with pitches over the middle of the plate. You've got Miller on deck, like I said, is looking for his first base hit. He leaves this thing up. Chavez delivers.
Second straight night The Cubs bullpen has blown a save. And now Brad Miller at the plate. And he first pitch swings and fouls it back to the screen.
He wasted a great effort by Samardzija. Again, it's only Greg's first blown save, but not a lot of thought going into that last hitter.
Well, let me ask, is that...
No, it's nothing. It's the pitcher is out there pitching, the catcher's catching. You know who's on deck. You've got this kid, again, Brad Miller. That's not to say that, you know, he's not going to do well, he's not going to do anything, but, you know, he doesn't have a base hit yet. You know he's nervous as heck. Got a lot of adrenaline. He's never faced Greg.
Chavez takes off a broken bat, and that is foul.
I mean, he's up there just, you know, swinging to stay alive, as many a young hitter go through.
All I was going to ask is...
Don't even ask, Justin. Go ahead, ask.
Fair enough. No,
I
won't
hear it.
ask.
I want to hear it.
Wellington Castillo, a young catcher.
And you see this pitch, I mean, up, just something he can hit. You just can't give him anything up there at all. It's got to be in the dirt. It's got to be off the plate.
No balls, 2 strikes here to Miller. And now a pitch out, thinking that maybe Chavez was going on 0-2. Well, now is a great time to go. You don't really pitch out twice. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Miller.
Miller's going to grind. The more pitches he sees, the more familiar he gets with Greg.
Foul back. We'll do it again at 2-2. Still looking for his first big league hit. Not going to get it there as Greg strikes him out to end the inning. But the first blown save of the season for Kevin Gregg as Endy Chavez, a game-tying RBI single that scores Saunders. And we go to extra innings, 3-3 here in Seattle. Seattle. The new pitcher into the game is Yoervis Medina. 3-2 with a 2.86 ERA, 28 in the third, 28 strikeouts, and 17 walks. And he will face the bottom third of the order for the Cubs. Bogusevic, Barney, and Castillo.
Well, Bogusevic making that great throw to get Ibanez at the plate earlier. See, now I think those two are talking, trying to figure out what's going on. Baggio looking on again. Now that was an interesting approach.
Bogusevic 0 for 3. And the fastball is outside for ball 1. Pulled, foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike here to Brian Bogusevic. Again, remember, no more DH here for the Mariners. And they are out of position players as they use Michael Saunders to pinch run for Blanco, and it paid off because he scored the tying run. Good pitch right there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bogusevic. Yoervis Medina, the winning pitcher in last night's extra inning affair. 1 inning, 1 hit, did not allow a run. On the inside pitch, he could not hold up. Strikeout.
We see this down and in, and Mike Winters, a third base umpire, gets the call right. Just tied him up down and in.
You know, Eric Wedge, he said, you take away that 8-game losing streak we had earlier this year, and we're basically a 500 ball club. And he said, we got to just win. We got to win games. And last night's game was so important because they came back and they won the game. They can go back to back, coming back late.
Well, again, a win like last night, that's great, but you've got to build momentum with it. And when you rattle 3, 4, 5, then you can look back and say, yes, that was a turning point. But as he mentioned, it's win 1, lose 1. Win 1, lose 2. They just have not been able to get on any type of roll, and it's been a collective effort. You know, obviously the offense hasn't been there. They haven't been able to get the consistent starting pitching. Bullpen's been a lot of trouble.
One sliders inside. 2 balls and 1 strike over the last 8 games. Excuse me, over the last 16 games, they're 8-8. Last 31, 15-16. I mean, that's, again, right around 500. Two, 1, bounce foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both starting pitchers, Samardzija and Harang, pitched very well. 2-2, bounce foul again. Samardzija struggled early. Once he got through the second, settled down, did his job, left with the lead. Harang won 8 innings, left trailing 3-2, and his offense bailed him out in the 9th inning. Three balls, 2 strikes. Yoervis Medina, just the 3rd pitcher of the game here for the Mariners. The payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. 1 out walk to Darwin Barney. And now Wellington Castillo will step to the plate. Castillo's 0 for 3.
Well, Castillo does have 13 doubles this year. Looking for something to drive into the gap. Get Barney running.
Fouls the first pitch back into the seats. No balls and 1 strike. Good crowd on hand at the ballpark here today on the turn back the clock day. Both teams wearing throwback uniforms. The Mariners wearing uniforms of the Seattle Turks. And this Cubs team wearing uniforms from back in the early 1900s. $34,630 here at the park. Pulled through that hole on the left side. Seager was guarding the line, doubles prevent defense, and now it's first and second with 1 out. And you flip that batting order back to the top and bring up Luis Valbuena, who is 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored.
Well, just a ground ball single into left. Ibanez does a good job of hustling over there so Barney doesn't have any ideas of going to third base.
And with runners on first and second, this will bring out the pitching coach, Carl Willis. One away here in the 10th. And now some action, some movement out there in the bullpen for the Mariners. It is Oliver Perez, the lefty, who has been dominant out of the pen.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, this guy came up as a starter with the Padres and Pirates. Had electric stuff early on. He really did. And he still does. He's got a great arm. Been used to close out a few games. He's done well. Done extremely well.
What's ironic is that he and Jason Bay were actually on the same team together in AAA Portland for the Padres. They were traded for Brian Giles over to Pittsburgh, and now here they are at the quote-unquote tail end of their careers, reunited once again. Down low to Valbuena. 1 ball, no strikes. Both were all-stars with the Pirates.
And you see Miller holding the runner on close to second. A big hole on the left side.
Valbuena gets under it. Shallow right. Franklin having trouble. This one drops in. They can get the force at second, and they do. So they still get an out, but runners now on the corners.
Yeah, and again, that's not that Castro would have had a chance, but you got to be more than 4 feet off the bag. You're not going to tag. You're not going to do anything. You've got to be at least half. No chance at all there.
Goes down as a fielder's choice, 9-6. Jason Bay able to salvage an out.
You could see all the way there was confusion. Nobody really wanted that ball, but Bay having enough sense to know the situation, know that you don't have a good base runner at first base and a catcher.
Now it's Starlin Castro, and the fastball is low and outside for ball 1. Castro, a home run back in the first, a single in the fourth, a ground out and a line out. Fastball's in there, 1-1. The Cubs with 2 2-out RBI singles in the 6th. Slider, good pitch, 1-2. If Medina can get out of this one, it's 3-4-5 in the 10th for the Mariners. The 1-2 in the dirt. Good stop by Zunino. Yep. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Really a nice job by Zunino there. Young man gets down, keeps the ball in front of him.
The 2-2 to Castro. Spoiled foul. $34,630, making some noise. Another 2-2. Slider pulled to third. Seager goes to second for the out, and Medina gets out of it. We will go to the bottom of the 10th. 3-4-5, 2 up for the Mariners. Seattle, the Mariners and Cubs tied at 3. The new pitcher into the game is Carlos Villanueva. 1-4, 3.65 ERA, 66 2/3 innings, 18 walks, 50 strikeouts. He threw 2/3 of an inning last night. Closed out the 7th inning after the Jason Bay home run. He'll face Kyle Seager, Jason Bay, and Raul Ibanez. And the first pitch to Seager is in the air to right field, playable for Shearholtz. And Seager just got into that one for the first out here in the 10th. This will be Jason Bay's first at bat. Pinch ran for Kendrys Morales in the 8th when he was caught stealing with Raul Ibanez at the plate. Turned out to be a crucial play in this game. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1.
Big shift for Jason Bay, the second baseman on the left side of the infield. Rizzo, the only Cub on the right side.
I am truly amazed at how many teams shift the way they do for so many players in a lineup.
Yeah, and I saw something where statistically it does not make that much of a difference, but I guess it makes you look like you're doing something.
2-0, take it on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1. Bay, Sky to center field. Bourbon barely has to move, and there are 2 away. Well, let's see. If there's one guy who you'd pick in this lineup to end it with one swing, it'd be the guy coming up. As we look at these game notes, with Raul Ibanez stepping to the plate, 18 home runs, lefty versus righty. 9 home runs in a month. And in this game, Ibanez 2 for 4, a double, a single. He was also thrown out at the plate in the 8th inning to end the inning.
And again, you've got to be smart. You can't give him anything over the plate. Again, you just nibble. And the man has 18 home runs. He's been swinging the bat well. Again, you just can't let ego get in the way.
Chases one ball and 1 strike to Ibanez. "41 years old, Raul Ibanez. Another tour of duty here with the Seattle Mariners. Carlos Villanueva, the 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Justin Smoke's on deck. He'll hit lefty against the righty Villanueva if Ibanez reaches. And it was Smoke who hit a home run lefty back in the 2nd. A 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. I'd be shocked if he gets a pitch here.
Well, that was a smart pitch right there. That's a great pitch in that situation. And you know what? Come right back with the same one. If you're throwing a fastball anywhere or the middle, the inside part of the plate, not a lot of thought going into it. Run something away.
The 3-1.
With the breaking ball, which is fine.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, look at this. The Cubs have lost 24 games in which they have led this year. The Mariners, 3 walk-off wins, trying to make it back-to-back walk-off wins for the first time in about 3 years. And Ibanez chases one up high to end the inning. Villanueva works a 1-2-3 10th. We go to the 11th here in Seattle, 3-3. on the board early in this one as Starlin Castro took Aaron Harang deep back in the first inning. It was 1-0. Then in the second, Justin Smoke tied it up with a home run off of Samardzija. And we went to the sixth inning. Nate Shearholtz the RBI single with 2 outs. Then Alfonso Soriano the go-ahead RBI single. In the eighth, Smoke again to left field. It's Ibanez being thrown out at the plate by Bogusevic. And finally in the ninth, Andy Chavez, the game-tying RBI single to score Michael Saunders. And that's why we are here now in the 11th inning as Oliver Perez takes the hill. And look at these numbers for Oliver Perez. 2-1, a .94 ERA, 41 strikeouts in 28 2/3. And Shearholtz drags a bunt, and that is a base hit. Wow, was that pretty.
We talk about Shearholtz being very athletic. Smart play in that situation. Perez, a lot of arms and legs. Very tough for a left-handed hitter. Takes advantage of getting the ball just by Perez. And once that happens, you see how far back Barney is playing at second base. No possible way. Excuse me, Franklin at second base. No possible way of getting him.
So the leadoff man on now for Alfonso Soriano. And Soriano 2 for 4. Double his last time up. RBI single back in the sixth. And a look over at Shearholtz. Shearholtz does have a stolen base in this game, 5 for 7 on the year.
You just want to let Perez know that you're over there, but you're not running right now.
And the fastball at 93 is in there for a strike. Oliver Perez always had great stuff. The question was, could he control it?
Yeah, as I mentioned, a lot of arms and legs, great movement, good slider, hard fastball.
Fouled away, 0-2. If you had to guess, would you guess those three guys,
Absolutely.
the top relief pitchers ERA in the American League this year?
Not a chance.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Soriano. Jesse Crain, a .5 ERA. One, two, Soriano to center field. Chavez at the track, gone. Alfonso Soriano with his 9th home run of the year gives the Cubs a 5-3 lead.
And that's all set up by Shearholtz leading off with the bunt because he's on first base. Perez is spending some time watching him. Soriano knows he got it.
Soriano, his last 3 at-bats, a 2-run homer, a double, and an RBI single. You know what the Cubs are saying? Keep on doing that. Increase the trade value.
Well, fence is moved in or not, that thing is out of here.
The 0-1 to Rizzo. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 2 off the end of the bat. Center field, shallow. Here comes Chavez, one away. Well, how rare are those runs against Oliver Perez? He had not allowed a run in his last 14 outings. That was 12 innings. And here he comes in, gives up that leadoff drag bunt to Nate Schierholtz, and a 2-run homer to right center field by Alfonso Soriano. And now Julio Bourbon, who's 0 for 2, will step to the plate. And Bourbon pops up the bunt. Perez, the flip. Second bunt single of this inning for the Cubs.
Well, Bourbon liked what Schierholtz did and said, heck, I'll give that a shot too. That's got to be on the first baseman, though, because in that situation, you've got to be playing in more, just being aware that there possibly is going to be a bunt. Again, left-handed hitters do not fare well against Perez. A guy like Bourbon not going to yank a ball down the line on it.
So now 1 out, runner on at first. Brian Bogusevic at the plate. Bourbon 4 for 5 in stolen bases as Bogusevic fouls the first one back. Brian Bogusevic 0 for 4, 2 groundouts to second, a ground out to first, and a strikeout his last time up.
Yeah, not the line you really want having to face Perez late in the game. Again, he made a great throw, though, earlier to nail Ibanez at the plate.
Drops down with a slider, 0-2. Soriano right now, the difference in this one. Had that go-ahead RBI single in the 6th, the 2-run homer here in the 11th. 0-2 slide in the dirt. Bogusevic down, swinging 2 away. Alfonso Soriano came up with the Yankees, traded to Texas in the Alex Rodriguez deal, went to Washington, then signed with the Cubs. 381 career home runs.
Well, he really has had a solid career too, and couple that, you remember his first few years he was stealing bases as well, and he was doing it all. Now, it hasn't worked out like they would have liked in Chicago. It's been productive, but probably not as much as they would have liked.
Signed that big contract with the Cubs. Remember when he went to Washington, he didn't want to go to play left field. He wanted to go play second base. Darwin Barney at the plate. And he takes the first pitch for a strike. The last time that Oliver Perez allowed a run was May 18th at Cleveland. In a 5-4 loss, he took the loss in that game. And now he's given up 2 runs and the 2-run homer by Soriano. And if his team can't get back, he will suffer the loss. Another frisbee breaking ball. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. Bourbon on at first base. 2 away here. Barney walked his last time up, 0 for 3. And now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Due up in the 11th for the Mariners is Justin Smoke, Mike Zunino, and then Oliver Perez. Remember, this Mariners team is now out of position players to pinch hit. The positive, Perez pitched in the National League for a long time.
At bats, yeah.
Again, a throw over to first base. How good is our statistician, Scott Lightman? Just got me the last at bat for Oliver Perez. May 14th, 2010, worked a walk at the Marlins. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Barney. The 2-2. Got him swinging. But Alfonso Soriano breaks the tie. Drives it to right center field. He knew it. And the Cubs now lead 5-3 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Now in the bottom of the 11th inning, and they will turn to Blake Parker to try to close this one out. In 10 games, 0-1 with a 2.38 ERA, 11 and 1/3 innings pitched, 5 walks, 14 strikeouts. Will face Justin Smoke, Mike Zunino, and then the pitcher due up, and that would be Oliver Perez. Now into the 11th. Blake Parker. And AAA Iowa had 7 saves in 16 relief appearances this year.
But he had those struggles the other night. You know, remember what happened? He walking guys, and you just got to go right after the hitter in this situation.
And the first pitch fastball in the outside corner to Justin Smoke for a strike. Last night suffered the loss, did Parker. 1 1/3, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He faced 7 batters. The 0-1. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he's doing what he should be doing, just going right after him with fastballs. That pitch is borderline, but Art Wegner giving him the benefit of the doubt. But just still, you just keep pumping fastballs.
The 0-2 from Parker. In the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. At this point, you cannot afford to give up a walk.
Right,
you got a 2-run cushion.
Right, you're 1 and 2. You're playing around, but I wouldn't get into a situation here where you're trying to nibble. Just throw a fastball. You know, you watch guys in BP; they don't get hits every single time, and they know what's coming.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, I don't really understand that. Again, this is where you get yourself in a situation then where you're forced to throw a fastball, but you had 2 opportunities to nibble on a corner.
A shift is on once again here for Smoke, with Castro playing up the middle. 2-2 pulled to first. Rizzo backs up. He will take it himself for the first out. Now Mike Zunino. And Zunino is 1 for 4, doubled and scored back in the second.
He misses with that breaking ball. Again, he got ahead of Smoke with the 2 fastballs. You see Joe Saunders on deck.
One ball and 1 strike. A swing and a miss of the fastball.
Yeah, you got to go right at him with the fastball again.
High and outside, 2-1.
Well, remember, last night he got himself into trouble. He walked Saunders. He also ended up walking Ibanez.
Good pitch, in on the hands, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Got him. 2 away. So now you get a rare treat here in an American League ballpark where a starting pitcher will pinch hit. Joe Saunders back on May 29th at the Padres was 0 for 2 with a strikeout, career 136 hitter. And the first pitch is in there for a strike.
Can't throw many breaking balls here, can you, Justin? You just got to go right after him.
Saunders to center field. Bourbon is there, and that will do it. In 11 innings, the Cubs, thanks to Alfonso Soriano's 2-run home run, will take game 2 of this series. And they split the first 2, 1-1. The Cubs win 5-3. We'll be back to Seattle after these messages.